welcome to Explore English Churches, and today we are in Kimbolton, which is a small market town on the edges of Cambridgeshire, and we've come to explore St Andrew's Church. Now, this church, like many, has quite a bit of history behind it, and Kimbolton used to actually have a very large castle here. What I can tell you about this church is that there obviously was a church on this site, and which has been mentioned in the Domesday Book, but most of this church in actual fact dates to around about the 13th century. And when you see what's actually truly special in this church, you will be completely amazed. As we approach the door, what you may find interesting in the door, during the time of the Reformation and Oliver Cromwell and all around about that era, is that the churches were actually raided by Cromwell's men, sent by the king, and they broke up anything that they could actually find that was related obviously to Catholics and Christianity. Now, it is believed, and I don't know how true it is, but some of these holes in this door, in actual fact, if I get out the shadow, are actual fact believed to be bullet holes from the time of Cromwell and the Reformation. Let's go in. It's a beautiful little church, this. In actual fact, it's not so small. And there are some very, very interesting and unique features in this church. And like I always say, whenever you come to a church, you never know what you're going to find. During the 12th century, Kimbolton actually flourished, and as it did, then they added obviously to the church as well, and it was during the 13th century and the 14th century that the tower and spire were added to the church, followed by some 50 years later by the addition of the clerestory as a source of light in the nave. The church, part of it, is still actually decorated with poppies, celebrating or commemorating, should I say, all the people that were lost in various wars and served the country from all around the globe. There are some very pretty stained glass windows in here, but the most important of all is this. Whoops, sorry about the light, people, but the sun is shining beautifully today. Is this Tiffany window. This is rather extraordinary and very, very rare, and as I understand, it's the only Tiffany window in any church in England, and it's to commemorate these two sisters, which, if I can recall some of the story, I will actually tell you. This wonderful window is actually the work of Louise Comfort Tiffany, the son of the founder of the famous Tiffany jewellery line. The window depicts the daughters of Consuela Yananga, an American of Cuban descent, and she was the widow of the 8th Duke of Manchester. Now, that's not Manchester in the north of England. It was actually Manchester locally. It is truly a beautiful window. Let me see if I can get in and show you a little bit better. And the story goes that these two sisters, they went on holiday to Italy, and one came back and with TB, which is the one on the right hand side. I've forgotten their names. And she died, and the one on the left died approximately 18 months later. But again, this is one of the only Tiffany windows, or the only Tiffany windows in a church in England, and it's rather magnificent. Alongside the beautiful window, we also have these huge monuments, and this is in memory of Essex Conventcy of Manchester, I can't pronounce that, I'm sorry, daughter of St. Sir Thomas Cheeke, and wife of Earl of Manchester. And that one dates back to 1668. Apparently she left 8 children. Wow. There's another beautiful stained glass window here, not by Tiffany's, but the colours on it are superb. Let's take a one down and I will show you some other various interesting items, one of which is this little door, and that actually leads to a spiral staircase, which is kind of hidden in this pillar, sorry. And if I come round, you will see up the top there's a little door, and that would have been when there was a large rood screen going across the church and given access to the top of that screen. This is truly pretty, this is. And it's a monument by René de Saint-Macrax to Consuela, who died in 1903. It is very, very, very pretty. That is very pretty indeed. We also have here a very, very old chest again, which they would have kept all the valuables and the church documents in over the years. This one is not as ornate or as heavy as some of the ones that I've seen, and some of the ones that you will see in other videos of mine. But again, the locks, it would have had 3 locks on at one time apparently. That's quite interesting. I don't know how old it is, but it is without doubt very old. We have on the walls a various selection of the coats of arms of various noble families that existed or lived around here, and obviously had control. Now here, this is quite interesting. In actual fact, and I don't know if I can... This, in actual fact, is the coat of arms of Queen Anne. And that is dated 1712. Yes, that's quite good. I do like this door. You know, I'm fascinated by doors. That's a lovely door. and very, very heavy. Enormous hinges. Another interesting feature in this church is this very old font. How old it is I do not know. I would imagine it's, 14th, 13th, 14th century or more. Now the story goes that this was actually found some years back, miles away from here, and then was brought to the castle and was kept in the castle for many years until eventually finding itself here. There is also another font in the church, which I will show you. We have another glorious stained glass window here. And again, the colours on that are truly beautiful. And these are always dedicated to various people over the years. Here we have this one here, memory of Lieutenant Henry Gordon Carter, 8th Northumberland Fusiliers, who died 1915, and he was only 25 years old. And this one here, that's Mary Ann Carter, died the 25th of December, Christmas Day, 1895. Wow. All of these wonderful churches, they have so much history behind them, and it's something I believe that we should protect. That's the church clock just ringing number 1 o'clock. So here we are, 1 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon, wandering around yet another wonderful English church. There's probably many more fascinating items in this church that I'd like to be able to show. Maybe I will come back another day and do another video